Welcome back to the Psychological Paradigm Shift podcast. I hope you found the last episode informational and helpful. I am Ed Rieger, your host. I'm the creator of the Psychological Paradigm Shift movement. You can find the entire layout of the movement on my website, psychologicalparadigmshift.com. On the website, you will learn what the mission of the movement is, the books I've written, the laws I am beginning to release, the podcast episodes, and you'll be able to follow my political activities when we launch. Always remember, I am only providing my personal opinions based on my experiences and education on psychological topics. Tonight, we will be talking about mental illness in a very blunt, transparent manner. The topics may be disturbing to some, and it will never be my intent to hurt anyone, only to share my ideas and thoughts. Let's get started here. Tonight, we are going to cover sexual occupations and the questions you may want to ask your potential romantic partners. The first written word about sexual occupations was in Sumerian civilization in Mesopotamia, where prostitution was practiced in brothels at the temples about 2400 BC. So it was a long time ago. Sumerian Babylonian societies viewed prostitution as an institutional practice. Even the Bible talks about it in the book of Genesis and Joshua. The Greeks practiced prostitution, the Romans practiced prostitution, and even registered brothels and taxed the participants. Unfortunately for most prostitutes in Rome, they were sold into it because they were slaves. Of course, because sex work is so taboo throughout the world, it's hard to estimate how many people are employed in this area. The going number in the U.S. is in the millions. Worldwide, according to the International Union of Sex Workers, estimates it is over 50 million folks. In 2017, the Stanford Economic Review estimated that the prostitution market in the United States was valued at about $14 billion. But of course, so much of it is unknown due to the illegality of the profession. Worldwide, they estimate that spending is well over $200 billion. But again, it's completely unknown. We just know it is a big business in the U.S. and all over the world. Of course, as society has evolved and technologies have made progress, the idea of sexual occupations has definitely changed. Everybody who has a cell phone can download sexual activities 24/7. Anyone can take a picture of themselves and text it to anyone in the world they want to. Attitudes towards sex and sexual occupations have changed dramatically in the 21st century. It is estimated that in 2025, we will spend on worldwide subscription-based online adult content about $81 billion. And by 2030, it's estimated to be over $100 billion. In 2024, Pornhub was ranked the 6th most popular website in the world with over 5 billion views. That's a lot of views. OnlyFans has an estimated 300 million plus users with over 1 billion monthly website visits per month. They say there are over 4 million creators on the site and that 80% of the creators are women. Even amateurs at home are creating sexual content and posting it. Grand View Research estimates that the sex doll market worldwide is about $6 billion in 2024 and going up to $13 billion by 2033. And of course, with the advancements of AI and robotics, this industry may explode in the future. Sexual occupations, and because of the sexual history of the mentally ill, especially if they begin as children having sex with adults, their boundaries and lifestyle choices may not be socially traditional to some folks. Or they may have no psychological wounds and just really enjoy sex. Because of all the attention and monetary incentives, especially when combining it with the poverty rate of the U.S. and the world, sexual occupations are definitely something you should include in your conversations with potential romantic partners in today's dating world. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with the questions. Have you ever been a sex worker? You definitely want to know, were they forced into it or did they choose to do it? When was their first time they got paid to participate in sexual employment? What kind of sex worker? How long did they do that job? Have you ever been a stripper, or at what age did you begin? Were you partially or fully unclothed? For how long? Currently, do you work as a stripper? Have you ever performed in an adult movie? In the early 1990s, I met a producer who wanted me to write an adult movie and star in it. I had no problem taking the meeting. We talked with some of the actresses that would participate with me, and it almost happened. But something in my mind told me not to do it. Although, at the time, I had no problem with having no boundaries against it. What kind of movie have you performed in? How long were you in the industry? How many productions were you in? Have you ever participated in an amateur pornographic production? How many times? Did you enjoy it? Why? Does your family know that you've been in adult movies? Do they approve or disapprove? Have you ever performed sex acts for a webcam? Have you ever been a creator on sites like OnlyFans? Have you ever been arrested for being a sex worker? How many times? What kind of punishment did you receive? Would you ever want to be a sex worker again? If you have children, do they know you have been a sex worker? If so, how do they feel about it? If you have children in the future, are you going to tell them you were a sex worker? Have you ever been romantically involved while you were a sex worker? Was your partner in the industry also? Would you pursue a romantic relationship in the future if you were still a sex worker? Have you ever been paid by a family member to have sex with them? How many times have you been paid by a family member? Would you take money from a family member in the future to have sex with them? Has any family member sexually trafficked you for money? How many times have you been trafficked? I believe that when you are sexually abused as a child, it may be the number one reason for so many psychological issues of adults there is. It all alters your brain wiring, your brain chemistry, your overall thoughts and boundaries around sex and your future sexual relationships, and it does it permanently. People who have never been sexually abused can never really truly understand the devastating effect to a person's mental well-being from the abuse. Okay, well, we're going to stop there. I want to thank you for sharing time with me tonight. I hope the information was helpful to you as we progress through our psychological paradigm shift. Remember, you can go to the website psychologicalparadigmshift.com. I'll post updates when I have them, and you can sign up to receive future information. I look forward to next week's episode. Take care of yourselves.